Hey everyone. This video was made before the changes to McCree's magnetic grenade, so I know that now it is the flashbang. So keep that in mind while you're watching this. But it's still a good video. I think the ideas are still good. I think what Blizzard did was better for the magnetic grenade. Well, with this change that they have in season 11, than what the magnetic grenade was. Well, it couldn't have been worse, right? It was like the worst ability in the game, design wise. So please keep that in mind. Yeah, I still think my ideas might be better, and it's still something they might be able to do in the future. But what they do have now, I do think is better than what the magnetic grenade was. So yeah, enjoy this episode. Hey everyone, it's been a while since I made a how to fix video, and I am glad to be back. I'm going to be making more of these because we've all seen how the game has been getting balanced lately. So since I've been playing DPS more, now that tanks kind of sucks to play as in comparison, I'm seeing different flaws in different characters I hadn't really needed to kind of play against before because of the role. So in this video, well, I guess I did see, McCree's magnetic grenade before, especially as a Doomfist player. But yeah, in this video, I'm going to be talking about how to fix McCree's magnetic grenade. So McCree's magnetic grenade is in the top 5 worst design abilities in the game. Like, I think everyone, even the McCree players, can agree to this. It is horrendous. It is absolutely horrendous. And I think even Blizzard knows this, but has done nothing to fix it. The problem is that there is absolutely zero skill involved with using this ability. Like, none. The range at which it needs to get close to you to like instantly lock onto you is just absolutely absurd. Mixed in with the effects it has and the damage it does, it's just stupid. It's absolutely just stupid. And I understand that McCree needs something to supplement his damage to allow him to get a kill, mainly because if you don't have at least good aim, he's completely useless. But this is just way too much, right? Because this is just to kind of give him another, I guess, more reliable way of doing damage, which is, also goes with his what do you call that? Fan the hammer. But I honestly can't believe that this skill is still in the game the way it is. So in short, there are 3 things to this ability that Blizzard is trying to do. The problem is that the move is more oppressive to play against than his original flashbang, which is why they got rid of the original flashbang, right? They were trying to get rid of CC. But again, the way Blizzard fixes things is by making it worse, right? I would much rather have flashbang back than to continue playing against the magnetic grenade, like any day. Like, even being hacked is better because at least I don't explode when I clearly see the hack coming in. Like, there's things I can do. But McCree walking in, I know if I see him, he's just gonna throw it. I think he's gonna throw it to the left, and I'm gonna see it kind of swirl back and hit me like some homing device. So yeah, there are 3 problems with this, right? The CC, the amount of damage it does, and how easy it is to use. So I have 3 different ways of applying a fix to this ability, right? The first one is to lean into the damage component. Like, why not just make a regular freaking grenade, right? Like from Call of Duty or Halo, right? You just throw a grenade and it explodes and it does damage. Maybe it'll bounce off the floor a few times like Junkrat's grenades, or explode when it's close enough to someone. But the combination of preventing someone from moving and doing a ton of damage is, while having no skill to use, is what makes it crazy. Like, hell, I don't even mind if it's a sticky grenade to punish people who are, too close to you, as long as you can land it. Meaning, put some skill into having to throw it, right? Like the range it is at now, I think, as long as it's in like within 1.5 meters or something, it just locks onto you. That's a lot. Like, that's such a giant margin of error. And I understand that the reason for the flashbang and the magnetic grenade is partially to slow people down to make it easier to shoot them. But things have been dumbed down so much with this ability and made so much worse to play against. They completely failed in this monstrosity that we have now. So the second idea is leaning into the immobility aspect, right? So for starters, I will say that I'm perfectly okay with the flashbang coming out, but that also had its flaws. So maybe we can make things a little better. So to make things a bit easier to digest and to keep the whole cowboy aspect of McCree, I wouldn't mind if he had a lasso that kind of kept you within a certain range for a certain amount of time. Maybe it still hinders you from using your movement abilities, but you don't get a free burst of damage on it, right? It's really only there to allow McCree to land easier shots, but not like guarantee him shots or guarantee him damage. Maybe you don't get hindered, but your abilities won't go past a certain range, right? So let's say if I'm Doomfist, I'm trying to slam away from him, my slam would only go so far. But at least I can still do it. So yeah, something like a lasso, that'll fit the vibe. But another way this could be done is maybe if instead of preventing you from moving, it takes away your primary fire. Kind of like he uses his lasso to take away your gun or whatever. That would be much more interesting. Like, all you can use is your skills to kind of retreat or do damage, but like in a very, very wonky way. And maybe for like 5 seconds, I don't know. But if you think about it, it'll be like the opposite of Sombra's hack, right? Where she takes away everything but your primary fire. So McCree will be taking away your primary fire, but you still have everything else. And, because McCree doesn't have the benefit of being able to sneak up behind people like Sombra does, maybe it has a really long range. Maybe it has a really long range, and from far away, it can take somebody's gun away. That would be awesome. That would be really cool. And the third idea of how to keep something that leans into damage, but also leans into CC, I think the only way you can have both is to make it like a very skillful thing to be able to pull off. That way, when you do it to somebody, they're like, oh, this person got me. Like this person is clearly skilled, so I deserved that. I was in the bad position, and this person has great aim and great timing and blah, 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 so I can't even be mad. So to keep the whole cowboy, theme and aesthetic again, I think it'd be cool if he had like a bullwhip that functioned like his flashbang, but without the AoE stun or AoE damage from his magnetic grenade. But without the AoE stun of his old flashbang or the AoE damage of the current magnetic grenade. Like, it'll only affect one person, and you actually have to hit the person with the crack of the whip. The damage could be significant too, especially because it would be something somewhat difficult to land and has a cooldown. So, anywhere between 50 to 75 damage seems appropriate. That way, if I get by hit, like, I wouldn't mind. I'd be like, oh, that's a hard thing to land. He got me, so, now I'm stunned and I took a lot of damage. And honestly, I wouldn't mind if a move like this is essentially a hit scan like ability, right? Because what they do, cracking the whip, it breaks the sound barrier, right? But of course, within a limited range. And he has a robotic arm, right? It should be able to move fast. All right. So yeah, but with how Blizzard is, I know the whole cracking a whip on a character would be, I don't think they'd be for that, and I could see the potential problems they'll be afraid of, especially as a Doomfist player myself. So yeah, those were the 3 to 4 ways of how this ability can be made tolerable and actually maybe even good. Right? The problems were able to do CC, able to do burst damage, and being super easy. So we're kind of leaning into what each of them are trying to do, or if we're going to have both, we're going to make it something hard to land. So yeah, let me know what you think in the comment section. As you guys already know, every time I have a how to fix video, I go through every single comment, and we talk about it, and then make a follow-up video to see what the community has thought of, and how we can actually fix McCree as a whole later on. So yeah, let me know what you think in the comments. Like and subscribe, and don't forget, I love you.
Also, everyone, guess what? I wrote a book. It's a high fantasy young adult adventure based off of African mythology called Konfaga, Roots of a Very Old Tree. So if you like your grandiose adventure stories with an overarching mystery to be solved and theorized around, like Dark Souls or One Piece, I think you'll have fun with this one. So yeah, here's an ad for the book. Konfaga, Roots of a Very Old Tree, a high fantasy young adult book with a modern take on African mythology. After a mysterious confrontation with his father at school, Marcus Jobda finds himself in the land of Kara, With a small band of determined adventurers and a robust magic system he must quickly learn, Marcus begins his search for his family, a way home, and simultaneously tries to discover the mystery of the disappearances. From escaping Mamiwara and preventing wars between kingdoms, he'll need every edge his wits can give him to see the next day. However, the more he learns, the less things appear as they seem. But does he really want to go back to his old life? With hundreds of illustrations filled with clues of the history of the world, join Marcus as he attempts to solve this mystery. Confaga, Roots of a Very Old Tree is available now on Amazon. Link in the description.